What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Nick, as always, you can call me Tetra Ninja, and this is going to be my final impressions video for No Man's Skies. So, I started the series basically on launch day, and I posted, I think, 4 parts of it. And by the end of the 4 parts, that was probably, I would say, 5 hours into the game. And then I proceeded to play another 10 hours of the game, sections that you guys didn't actually get to see. And the main reason why you guys didn't get to see it is because at the end of my 10-hour session, my game actually crashed while I was going through a warp drive. The game was actually crashing throughout the entire night, but that was usually not a problem up until the very end of the session. So on the final crash, as I was going through the warp drive, my save file on PlayStation 4 actually got corrupted, and there was really no way for me to recover it. So I basically threw my hands in the air and said screw it. And then my plans were to play the PC version of the game when I got back, because the PC version came out a couple days later on the Friday. And the PC version, from what I hear, even though I haven't really tested it out yet, is buggy as all hell. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna be playing any more No Man's Skies. But even if that's the case, in my final series finale video for the game, I got a lot of questions still from people asking, based on the 15 hours that I played, would I recommend it, or what were my final thoughts of it. So I thought that was a fair question. Usually I play the game from start to finish and then you guys can make your own opinions, but since I didn't actually finish this game, then I thought I would offer you guys a final impressions video of what I thought of the game. So yeah. So where to begin? So now that I've actually had a couple days off, I was away during the weekend at an event. If I were to have made this video right afterwards, after the file corruption, it probably would have been a lot more angrier. But now I've had a couple days to kind of decompress and get my thoughts in order. So first thing I want to say is that the fact that the game crashed and I lost my save file, and apparently this is actually something that's common. It's happened to a lot of people in the comment box of my final video in the series, said that it happened to them as well. And I was reading a lot of tweets on Twitter and social media and following people as well, and they have said the exact same thing. As they went through a warp drive or a black hole, the game crashed, the file got corrupted, and there was really nothing they could do. They lost a shit ton of progress. So to me, the fact that that even happens is basically unacceptable for a game. It just tells me the game wasn't ready yet, and I think we all kind of got an idea of that, because the review copies of the game were held until the Monday night, because the game developers, Hello Games, were still working on a day 1 patch that was supposed to come out on the Monday, and they basically said the day 1 patch was their final vision of the game. So in my opinion, if the final vision of your game requires a patch that was coming out less than 24 hours before the retail version of the game was supposed to go live, then most likely your game was not completely done yet, or as much as it should have been. So personally myself, I really wish they would have taken that extra couple days, extra couple weeks, or even an extra couple months to get the game where it needs to be. So the fact that the game even crashed and corrupted save files, and the fact that it was a widespread problem, that's shitty, man. That's just so unacceptable. I'm getting kind of heated here, but yeah, that's that part. And then the PC port of the game being bad, that's unfortunately, if you are one of those PC players or PC gamers, you know that's basically the world we live in today. PC games, their ports are usually not very good, and they're extremely buggy at launch. And it's because everyone's PC is different. They're working with a different platform in every case, and with a console, the platform is just all the same, so it's easier to code. I'm not trying to make excuses, but that's just the way it goes. If you're a PC gamer, then you've been used to this for a while now. So for the rest of this impressions, I'm basically just going to talk about my viewpoints of the PlayStation 4 version of the game. So basically what I thought of the game, final impressions. Let's talk about whether or not you should buy this game, and what type of people who should buy this game, and what type of gamers would enjoy it most. So I guess I'll start off with talking about who shouldn't buy this game. The people who should not buy this game are people who like the on-the-rails experience of a single-player game. So for example, I would say like a game like The Last of Us, Uncharted, an on-the-rails shooter, even like Call of Duty or Gears of War. if you like the on the rails experience where you start at point A, eventually you get to point B, and at the very end you go through a story, and then you end at point Z. And like I said, it's an on the rails experience with maybe a tiny bit of exploration and sidetracking, and then probably this game is not for you. So the people that are going to enjoy this game the most, and to be fair, I'll tell you guys that I actually did enjoy my time playing this game. I must have, because I played the game for basically 10 hours straight with 2 breaks in between to eat and pee, and maybe the occasional poop. I can't remember, but anyways, so I played the game 10 hours straight, and I'm one of those types of people who don't mind the grind. So what this game really strives for is it basically builds up for the little moments, and those little moments are really what define the game. Where I played up until, there were really no big moments other than encountering the Atlas or encountering the space station that looks like the Death Star, and it's honestly a grind the entire way. And what you're doing is just slowly, and when I mean slowly, I mean absolutely slowly, just improving your character, improving the tools that you use, improving your ship. Obviously your ship is the center stone of the game. And what actually happened during that 10-hour session is I first bought my first ship, and then I bought it from a random traveler, and then I found another ship that was crash landed on a planet, and then I basically rebuilt it from scratch. And then I spent like 3 hours basically just grinding out materials to get the best warp drive at that time. I think it was the level 3 warp drive. And then, so I spent like 3 hours grinding for that warp drive. And then as soon as I built that warp drive and then I used the black hole, I found a really cool ship, a really much cooler looking ship. And then basically I had to redo the entire process again. It wasn't even that much better. It had like 1 extra storage, but just aesthetically it looked better. And then so I had to restart the grind again to get the really good warp drive. And basically the exact same thing happened with the multi-tool. So the multi-tool in the game is, first off, your mining weapon, but it's also as well your weapon that you use to attack robots and attack creatures, I guess, or take pictures of creatures. It's your main tool for gathering resources on the game. So once again, I'd find one multi-tool, and then I'd find one slightly better, and then I'd find one slightly better than that, and then just slowly rebuilding once again that multi-tool to having some of the best specs and best items that I have found. So how the game kind of continues to get you to play is that throughout your exploration, either you find them through crashed blueprints or crash salvage on the ground, or you meet up with people and they'll give you the blueprints, or you have to pass some sort of puzzle thing at a station. So you randomly get blueprints as you progress throughout the game. So I spent actually the first couple hours, I was kind of stalled for a bit because I couldn't find the better warp drive that allowed me to jump multiple times to different systems. I was stuck on the baseline hyperdrive that allows you only to go from one system to the next. So I was kind of stuck for there until I found the second best drive that I got that allowed me to jump multiple times over multiple systems at once. So that's basically, from what I gather, that's the entire game. And what you're doing is, like I said, you're living for those very small moments that kind of gets you a little bit excited. Either you find like a really sweet blueprint, or you find like a stash of good resources that you can mine, or you find a new ship that you can rebuild, or you're basically just grinding for units, which is the currency which you can use to buy things. And that's basically pretty much it for the game in terms of gameplay. It's, even though the environments slightly change, you run into new creatures, and from what I gather, there's some cool planets with machine-like creatures. I never got there myself, but I'm just from what I hear. And that's basically the entire game. It's just, yeah, you live for those small moments. So if you're not one of those people who are patient and you don't like to live for those small moments, then the game's probably not for you. But if you are into those grinding type games where you just like the vastness of space kind of just intrigues you, and you like to explore a lot, not knowing exactly where you're gonna go and what's gonna happen, then this is definitely going to be the game for you. So it's a very polarizing game. You either like it or you don't like it. I kind of attribute it to like Minecraft. There's no person out there that kind of likes Minecraft. You either hate Minecraft or you absolutely love Minecraft. There is no middle ground in between. So yeah, that's my final impressions of it. I just slapped myself, sorry for that. If I were to give it a score out of 10, probably a 7, I would say. So yeah, those are my final impressions of it. Whether or not you should buy it is going to be on the type of gamer you are. It's not going to be for everyone, but hopefully that kind of gave you guys an idea of what my final thoughts were of it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys so much for your understanding of all the issues I had with the game and the reason why the series could not continue. So hopefully the rest of Q4 doesn't shape out the same way, or I may just punch my computer screen. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and as always, have a fantastic day.